Once a rate cut has been announced by the Fed, that's already been baked into the market. It's too late. You gotta be opportunistic. Be mentally ready, have your documents together so that when you see something,
you're ready to move forward.
we're talking what's to come, what are we excited about, what do we think is gonna happen in the market.
The market has continued to pick up. Deals are getting done here in the city and contracts getting signed. How do you define success today and looking forward versus where you were 5 years ago?
Joseph, welcome to 2026.
Can you believe it? We made it.
I can. We did make it. And welcome to another episode of Somewhere in New York.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm Taylor Derland alongside Joseph Pullen. We're talking not resolutions. I don't think we need to go there.
I don't do
those.
resolutions.
Yeah, great. Perfect. But looking ahead, what's to come? What are we excited about? What do we think is going to happen in the market? And all the things.
Yeah. I think one thing is interesting, and I'll just jump in really quickly. It's like, because, coming on the heels, here we are in New York City and coming on the heels of a mayoral election last fall, right? Where, there was a lot of fear in the market about what would that election, the results of that election mean for New York City. And, so far what we've seen is mostly positive, right? Is that the market has continued to pick up. Deals are getting done here in the city and contracts getting signed. And I think part of it, one of the biggest reasons is because it's New York, because people want to be here. It's always, that's part of the dynamic and the vibrancy, and what makes it such an incredible city is that people are always coming, cycling through. There is movement. There's natural movement. There's flow between New York City and Florida. There's flow between New York City and Westchester County, naturally. So I'm excited to see that, right now it feels like there's a steady uptick in the market, and looking forward to, and I don't know when this is actually going to air, but, this year's spring market.
I would agree, and then caveat it by saying that I do think the market is selective. So the high end of the market, sales above 10 million, continue to just drive a lot of those numbers that we see. And partly that's because there's just no inventory at that level. Yet there's an insatiable demand for high-end properties. Interest rates are starting to trickle down.
They have been trending downward.
Trending downward.
Yeah.
Although I still find people waiting for them to trend further.
Yes.
And I think what people forget is that once a rate cut has been announced by the Fed, the actual mortgage rates, that's already been baked into the market because the mortgage rates are actually tied to the bond market. So like the last time the Fed cut a rate, the next day mortgage rates actually ticked up. So, you don't want to wait necessarily.
But in the short term, they ticked up, right? But then they still continue to trend.
Well, again, it's the market determines the mortgage rates. The Fed sets benchmarks. And so the point is that by the time they announce a rate cut at their quarterly meeting or monthly meeting, I think they're every quarter.
Yeah,
quarterly.
Quarterly. Yeah.
It's already been baked into the market because they're already predicting it. And so it's too late, really. So it's just you got to be opportunistic, I think, is the name of the game in 2026.
Yeah.
Is be mentally ready, have your documents together, ducks in a row,
ahead of the
so that when you do see something, then you're ready to move taking forward. Another 2 months to mentally get to a place where you're like, okay, we'll do this.
But part of this too is to talk about future predictions, and I think too, because we've also had buyers on the sidelines for so long with high interest rates, and at least in a certain segment of the market, like 2 million and below, right? So because of that, and because now that we're seeing the rates trend downward, or at least soften, I think, we've got more people willing to get off the fence, jump into the market. And it works on the other side too, because previously we had this confluence of things. So you had sellers who were sitting in, in properties with 2-3%, these incredibly low rates, mortgage rates, who didn't want to, like, where do they go? And driving into a 6-7% rate.
Mm-hmm.
So, things are better. And I also think it's the part of it too is the psychology of the market, because, for instance, when we bought our place upstate, the rates were naturally, I think it was 6.25, 6.75. Yeah. And that was coming off of double digit rates. So I think it's 6.75 was like natural. We didn't think twice. Right. Of course, we've refinanced through the years, but I think, people have needed some time to adjust psychologically to the rates and where they are, whether it's the high fives, low sixes, So
I think new development and renovated, ready to go product will continue to command quite a premium.
Sure.
I think the real value in New York right now is people who are willing to put in the time and effort to do a renovation.
Right.
There are a lot of properties that have not been and like desperately need it. But a lot of people just don't want to do that.
Right.
It's time consuming, it can be expensive, and it's just a headache.
Yeah.
It's a hassle.
Yeah.
But that, if you're looking at, value plays in Manhattan, I think that's really where
I think you're right.
where they lie, and you have to be willing to do a little work.
Yeah.
And then I think in the same token, turnkey ready to go and, ground up new development will continue to command a premium because of that, because it's ready to go. You don't have to do any work.
Bring your toothbrush.
Yeah. Bring your toothbrush.
I agree.
Yeah. What about for you personally? What are you excited about for this year?
Upcoming year?
Travel. Yeah.
Yeah. Travel. Well, the number one thing that comes to mind is, and it is personally, is, we've been in a renovation at our place, in the Hudson Valley, and it's been a long process. So I'm looking forward to wrapping that up, because I just want to put that behind us so we can have just be done. And I'm tired of, and this is for anybody who's listening, people asking, are you done with your renovation yet? Because it's a loaded question. Yeah. So I would think that's the number one thing. And plus, yes, some travel.
Yeah.
I think, some travel this year.
Yeah. As you know, I have a business in the Philippines as well. And it's about time that
it's a legal business, by the way. Let's just put that on the record.
It is. And we do a lot of great work for US-based startups providing customer care. And it's about time that I actually went there, spent time on the ground with the team. I think because virtual support, it became such a thing direct after the pandemic, and I used that kind of staffing for my former business. I feel like I do know them very well. The way that it works there. I have a lot of people that I've known for many years who have worked for me. But it does feel like it's time to go. And it's been on the list, to go to the Philippines. Yeah. There's great surfing there.
Surfing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you surf?
I do.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned when I was living in Brisbane, Australia. I learned in Byron Bay.
Okay.
Which is north of Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been to Australia, but yeah.
Really, really incredible place. Yeah.
Nice. That's nice. And also, I should add, I'm looking forward to our continued collaboration, our partnership, and growing our business, and just working with you. So,
yeah,
that was your opportunity to say me too.
What?
All right, people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We need some more here. It's just not.
Yeah. No, I know. How do you define success now versus 5 years ago?
Was that a question you want to ask me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So should I say, make it official?
Yeah, make it official.
So, Taylor, I was thinking, so we were talking about the future and, where we've been and where we're going. How do you define success today and looking forward versus where you were 5 years ago?
I used to only define success in very black and white terms, monetary terms. Was I making this amount? And when I was working in the corporate world, did I reach this level? Those sorts of things. And I've learned a lot over the last 5 years that has expanded that definition of success. And it's included all aspects of my life. So, not just my
Yeah.
professional world. And also, it's the definition for me centers around learning, because your value increases as you learn, are curious,
Right.
internalize things, and then can use that knowledge to help someone do something, whether it's real estate or something totally different. And that's why curiosity, it's a through line that we've talked a lot about in this first season of Somewhere in New York, is curiosity. It's so important, because if you're not curious, then you're the value that you're bringing to other people is going to diminish over time. And I think in an uber competitive environment like ours, you have to do everything possible to stand out and stay competitive. And that's one way that I do that.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
How about you?
I don't know. um, I think something you touched on is that it's the idea of balance. And, you know, there's a love. Listen, I'm in my head. It's something I was thinking, because, as you know, I did have a bit of a health scare in the last year. So it has slightly changed my approach overall. And what's important to me is to be as happy as possible and fulfilled. And you know, I love what I do. I want to have continued success in this business and just keep uh, expanding, learning, being curious, being a part of this energy that my, I don't know. It's hard to articulate, because
How do you balance that with the kind of drive and a little bit of ego ambition that you need to continue building a business?
well, it's motivated by loving what you do, right? I mean, it's really being passionate about, you know, the things that you are pursuing in one's life. And so, I am somebody who really, again, chose to do this real estate, not trying to figure out, what I want to do with my life or what's next. It's like, this seemed like something, an arena that really would fuel various facets of my who I am and how I define myself. And so far it has. So, it that's the motivator, is doing what drives you from within, what you feel passionate about. And part of that energy of uh, I, I think I'm.
Is there tension for you between that, I want to be fulfilled and happy with growth, being like, oh, growth mode. I need to, not just be happy,
Yeah.
which happens when you do something that you love, it's a great starting point.
Mm-hmm.
But you also need to put in effort
To achieve it.
to achieve
Yeah, sure.
results,
Yeah.
to be the best at your craft.
Yes. So what's the question?
The question is there tension between those two things for you?
Well, sure, because it's not just something. It's not just a statement, right? I mean, you've got to put it into action. You've got to translate that into something real and tangible in order to get that back, to ride that wave. And that's part of what, for instance, it's focusing on real estate. It's part of what we do, is always constantly thinking about, how do we grow our business? How do we cultivate relationships? How do we continue to get referrals from clients, because we're delivering, right? And always thinking about the business. So, like, even when, late at night, you're thinking, what can I do differently or better, or what can I do to add value?
Yeah.
So
who outside of yourself do you ask those questions to? And let's, like, family aside, are there people that you...
Yeah, I mean, certainly my partner, right?
That's family. It's family aside.
Yeah.
Are there mentors? Are there...
Yeah.
people that you look to when you're stuck or you're feeling like you're in a rut
Yeah.
or you're like,
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess. Listen, I think I've been, and I say this because you may or may not know, I'm not particularly religious, but I have been, I would say, blessed to have a really good network of friends,
mm-hmm,
long-term relationships, that people I, are, who fuel me, who give me feedback, who I can talk to, and be challenged, or bounce things off. And yeah, I think that's it. How about you? Who do you turn to for that kind of input?
people who have very little context, I find are most helpful because they look at an issue that I have, in the most objective way. I think turning to people who have very little context is great because they ask the questions that you're maybe afraid to ask yourself, or you think, oh, that's so dumb. You overlook things.
Right, because you're
But
so in it.
other people are not afraid to ask that because they don't know better. So that's who I seek out when I need an external opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
And again, it's that through line of curiosity. I think people who are interested in improving and always refining their craft and what they do, that's a trait.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Soliciting input, seeking other people out.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great guiding light as we take this into 2026.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about what's to come.
Yep.
And we certainly appreciate everyone who's come along for
Absolutely.
this ride, season 1 of Somewhere in New York. And we look forward to seeing you next season. Yes. And cheers to a fantastic new year ahead.
Cheers.
Take care.